Hello, this is my pitch for Departure, a 2D side-scroller survival game. Departure is built around a main character and a robot companion that the player can switch between both to gather different resources, to build objects, and to help maintain the player's robot companion from breaking down. The player's goal is to go through the level collecting resources, to help maintain their robot companion and build objects to overcome obstacles to locate and repair their ship. The player will be able to build their robot companion in the beginning of the game, so they can switch between the two characters. This is a key component because the player will have to use both characters to progress the level. What does the player do? The player will be able to collect resources. The resources that the player will be able to collect are tools, like a screwdriver or a wrench. Tools are what the player must have to be able to build objects or maintain their robot companion. Another resource that the player must collect are spare parts. Spare parts are made up of nuts, bolts, wires, pipes, metal, and power sources. These resources will be located throughout the level. The player will be able to use these spare parts to build their robot companion. Another reason why this is important to the player is that the player will not be able to carry any extra tools or parts. Therefore, the robot will act as an inventory for the player to help carry more resources. Being able to pick up heavy materials and move them into place. Once the materials like metal beams, ropes, sheet panels are put in front of the obstacle, the player can get out of their robot companion and start constructing the materials to build a way to overcome the obstacles, depending on what is blocking the player from moving forward. The player will be able to build a bridge to go over a gap that are too big to jump across. They can build an elevator or stairs to get up steep walls as well. Archer will have antagonizing forces that will be working against the player. When the player is not inside the robot companion, they will have to look for oxygen or two canisters to help keep up their oxygen level. There will be two kinds of enemies, little robots and blobs. They will both try to stop the player by attacking the player and the objects that the player has built. The player can attack enemies with tools or stomping on them when they are controlling their robot. When the enemies are killed, spare parts will drop for the player to pick up. If the robot companion has taken too much damage, the player will have to get out and fix it. The player cannot be inside of the robot while fixing it. This goes for anything that the player builds as well. The theme of Departure is the player has crashed on a planet made up of garbage and must fix their ship to get off the planet. Departure takes the idea of the game Ratchet and Clank, where each character performs different tasks to help the player get through the level. The risk in making Departure: will the interactions the player has be fun, and will the mechanics of having to fix and build objects be too much for our capstone team?